table, the maximum bet inside to a number is 200 straight up. 200 straight up is the maximum bet. Angela's going to come to a table with 10 black chips, and she's going to buy in. Go ahead and take the chips. And she's going to come right over here in the first section. And she's going to buy in for chips, roulette chips, with one black chip. And then go ahead and talk to the dealer. I'm going to be the dealer. So she buys in with $100 and she gets a color. And she's going to get, let's say, orange. So I'm going to give her 5 stacks. Of orange chips. I'm going to say chips, okay? I was never, in 25 years of being a cheater and dealing before that, I was never comfortable with saying checks or chips. So I'm just going to say chips, okay? So look what Angela has in front of her, right? She's got 5 stacks of orange and black. Now, what she's going to do, as soon as she gets the chips, she's going to take one of her stacks, go ahead, and you know, she's going to do this very subtly and furtively so the dealer doesn't see her doing that. And she's going to interspace one of her stacks. We're putting blacks in between like this. We're going to do this, and this until you have about a half of a stack. That's not just go down on top of that, you're fine. Now, let's take a shot at that stack. Okay, this is called a sandwich stack. A sandwich stack. And everybody see that. What it is, it's a stack of chips with $100 chips mixed in between orange chips. Okay, everybody see that? Anybody not see that? Okay, now what she's going to do, she's going to take that stack and she's going to hide it between her 4 roulette regular normal stacks. So, I can't enter. I get you just to move away from that just for a second. So, now point to the small stack. Okay, now that stack that she's pointing to is the one with the $100 that we call the sandwich. It's the sandwich stack. Okay, and in front of it, she has the regular roulette chip stacks. Now, can anybody tell me why she put, just already, what do you sense? Why did she hide that? Who's she hiding that stack from, that sandwich stack from? The dealer. Why? Right? Anybody? Why is she hiding the stack from the dealer? Well, dealers don't usually call out black on the layout. They only call it black when it's, The point is, very simply, she does not want the dealer to see it. Now, if the dealer saw it, can you hear that? If the dealer saw it, let's say sitting right like that, the dealer sees a stack of orange and black chips, orange roulette chips, and $100 black chips. The dealer sees it. What might the dealer think or do? Can I ask you guys to kind of talk louder?
Notify the supervisor.
Notify the supervisor, or even maybe say something to the person like, hey, be careful, you have your black chips mixed in, right? Maybe she might bet them by accident, right? Because somebody buying in for $100 for roulette chips is probably not going to want to bet $100 a spin, correct? Okay, so the key point is that Angela does not want the dealer to see those chips. Okay, and by the way, some of you guys who were here last year, remember I did a roulette move, a little bit similar in design as to try and pass off a $100 chip, where I used a setup where somebody would come in, a high roller would come in and legitimately bet a $100 roulette chip straight up. Would I set them up by, just spraying $100 chips all over the layout like that, wanting the attention, wanting the dealer to see it and say $100 play in the middle or inside, and then the supervisor would come over and take note, and then that high roller would disappear, and nobody would see him again until a $100 chip was pass posted. Some of you might remember that, and the setup of the fact that the guy had already been betting $100 straight ups, in most cases would be enough to have that pass posted that paid without surveillance verification. That was a move I showed last year, which was very, very effective, but not nearly as effective as the move I'm showing now. This move is to the 10th power of the move I showed last year. Okay, so she wants to hide the chips from the dealer, so we're going to put them back like that. So now there's other people joining. Any successful roulette pass post for a lot of money cannot be done by one person. It must be done by a team. So Angela is what we call the claimer. The claimer is the person who takes the money off the table. Now we need what we call chip bettors. So I'm going to have two chip bettors. Brian and Patrick are going to become chip bettors. Their purpose is to make bets that control the dealer's movements. One of the things we need as a professional pass posting team is to make the dealer deal the way we want the dealer to do it. Dealers are taught, one of the things dealers are taught is to not turn their head from a layout, or if they have to turn their head from a layout, make it for a very short period of time. You don't want dealers like this after the dollar's on the number, right? You want dealers to keep focused on what's happening on the layout throughout the whole thing. So we need to change that. So Patrick and Brian, come to the table, please. And they just buy in for a color, whether they use cash or they already have green chips or black chips, it doesn't matter. And they buy in their chips. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to ask you to slide over here a little bit. Okay, so now we have three, and there's other people playing too that have nothing to do with us. So we have three people on our table, on our team so far at the table, and their job is simply to bet in certain patterns that make us able to do the move. Now, Dustin is what we call the mechanic. Mechanic, some of you have heard the term mechanic used for a killer, a professional killer, Charles Bronson movies. Those will be old enough to remember Charles Bronson. Dustin, you ever see Mechanic?
Yes.
Great movie. He was a mechanic, and he was a killer. A mechanic is also somebody who fixes boat engines, or plane engines, or car engines, correct? But in the lingo of casino cheating teams, the mechanic is the one who manipulates chips. Something that Dustin Marks